"Home sweet home," Jordan Novick announced, unlocking his front door and letting himself inside. Nobody answered. Not terribly surprising, given that he lived alone. He tossed his coat in the direction of the closet, kicked off his boots and left them standing in the hall, then shoved a box of food into the microwave, pulling off his jacket and his tie. The TiVo had recorded a new episode of The Nighty Night Show he saw with his usual queasy mix of shame and satisfaction. When the microwave beeped, he peeled the plastic film off his dinner, popped the top off a beer, and parked himself in a folding camp chair in front of the television set. The food, it was some kind of pot pie, tasted terrible. The crust a sodden gummy mess, the interior icy in sections, scalding in others, and gluey the whole way through. Jordan drained his beer, took the empty bottle back into the kitchen, and inspected the box, which of course said, in very large, hard-to-miss letters, "Microwave not recommended." "Well, shit," Jordan said, and frowned at the oven, which had a heavy-duty childproof lock on its handle. A lock that only his ex-wife had ever been able to figure out how to work. The locks had actually been one of the house's major selling points when he and Patty had bought it 8 years before. "We're all set for a young couple," the seller had announced when they'd come through with their realtor, beaming as he displayed the locks on the stove's controls, the gates at the top and the bottom of the staircase, and the pronged plastic caps plugged into every electrical outlet. "You'll just need to supply the baby." He'd laughed. Patty and Jordan had laughed. The realtor had chuckled too. They'd bought the house, and then Patty had gotten pregnant for the first time in 2004. There was nothing to do and not much to buy. Patty's sister, a mother of 3, had gladly handed over a crib and a changing table and a mysterious plastic pail known as a diaper genie. With the house prepared, Jordan and Patty had marked the occasion by programming their TV's TiVo to record children's shows, Blue's Clues and Barney and Friends, Max and Ruby, and The Nighty Night Show. The joke was on him. Now he was alone, no baby, no wife, alone in a house that defied him. How many hours had he wasted struggling with the doorknob guards or the lock the previous owners had installed over the toilet tank? He'd canceled his season passes for the children's shows, but there was no way to tell the computer chip that lived inside the TiVo that there were no children here and never would be, so the machine continued to record scores of programs for the 5 and under set, including The Nighty Night Show, which was hosted by the Nighty Night Lady, a friendly brunette who wore V-necked ribbed sweaters while she sang lullabies and told short, sanitized version of fairy tales. The Nighty Night Lady was, in Jordan's opinion, smoking hot. It made no sense. He'd even considered writing a letter to the network, asking why they'd hire a babe like that to appear on a show for 3-year-olds. He wondered if he was the only man who tuned in, hoping she'd bend over to pick up one of her props, the styrofoam castle, the felt princess crown, feeling ashamed of himself even though he knew that nobody would show up to say, "Hey, what are you watching?" or "Isn't that for kids?" or simply, "Pervert." It didn't matter now that he was alone. He could indulge himself any way he chose, whether that meant eating a diet based on deep-fried foods or furnishing his living room with metal and canvas fold-up camp chairs from the end-of-season sale at Target, or whacking off to a woman who wore a snail puppet on her hand. Ain't nobody's business if I do.